Let the battle begin in the world of cloud-based music solutions. Google and Apple and Amazon, I guess as well, although I'm not going to be talking about them because I think they're kind of the third wheel on this bicycle. Both releasing their ideas for what that cloud-based music system would look like. And so I wanted to talk a little about and get into the nitty-gritty of what I think would be the better version, what I think works for me the best. And really at the end of the day, that's all I can tell you is what's going to work for me the best. But let's get into it and get into the pros and cons. Before we do that though, I will say there's still some things we don't know. First of all, the price for Google Music. We don't know what that's going to look like. Currently you can upload up to 20,000 songs to their servers to have access to in the cloud. I can't imagine that's always going to be free. If that's always going to be free, the war is won. If Google can afford to do that, that would be incredible. But for now it's free. We'll see down the line what it costs. Apple's I think costs $25 a year, which that's not bad for their Music Match service. But that's the other part of what we don't know. That's actually not available till the fall, so I can't get my hands on it. I can't use it in kind of in a day-to-day situation, see how reliable it is, see how if it crashes. I just can't do that until the fall, until it's out. So there are some unknowns things. But we can look at the features, kind of what's been announced, what they're looking at, and I think we can come up with some pros and cons. A pro for Google Music, point for Google Music, is in streaming. The Apple solution, I was really amazed by this. It doesn't involve streaming. It involves downloading to your device. So if you have access to a song, you can then download it to your iPod or your iPad or your iPhone and be able to listen to it there. Now the problem here is that's not eliminating my issue with having enough space for my music. I can't listen to all of my songs. I actually have to delete one and download another if I'm out of space on my device. I don't like that. I like that in Google Music you can stream the music. That's point Google. Point goes to Apple though in the way they're instituting their servers. The Apple servers have all these songs on them already, and instead of having to upload all of your music to them, it just takes whatever song that you have, looks on its server, says, oh, I've got this, here's your high quality version of this song. So it's really kind of interesting. It's really almost a way to launder your music. In other words, if I have a bad copy off of an old CD of a song and Apple's got it, they'll let me listen to the high quality DRM free copy from their servers. That's a point Apple. As far as cons go, a con for the Google, podcasts and syncing. Google Music really does not address the issue of playlist syncing or podcasts very well at all. I know this because this is something that's important to me. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and one thing that Apple does right, that iTunes really does well, is in understanding how podcasts differ from regular music, how I want to listen to them, and how I want to have access to them, as well as through the playlist. Through iTunes, I can set up a smart playlist, and whenever I download podcasts, they're all there, immediately ready for me when I want them, and you can listen and then stop listening, and then later when you start listening, it'll pick up right where you left off, because you listen to podcasts linear like that. Google Music doesn't work that way. I've been playing around with Google Music. I'm in the beta, and as far as podcasts go, I can listen to them and I can set up a playlist, but because of the way the playlists work in Google Music, and maybe this is something they're working on, they don't sync directly with my iTunes playlist. I have to actually go in each one and finagle it and mess around with it individually. Plus, they're not seen as linear podcasts. They're seen as songs where you can just start it over if you want to. So some real issue there as far as cons. A con for the iTunes solution for Music Match, that con is device exclusivity. In order for me to use this, I have to have an iPhone, iPad, or iPod, and that is very typical with Apple and something I'm just getting sick of. Now, I imagine they could release some sort of app for their music from the cloud, but really, can you see that happening, especially with the way that they've instituted this software as being download, not streaming? I just don't see how they would release an app for Android or anything else. They want to sell their hardware. Plain and simple, Apple wants to sell their hardware, so it's only going to be for Apple products. And I think at the end of the day, you put those things together, and the solution for me is very much Google Music over Apple. Is it perfect? No, it's not, but I'll tell you what, it works really, really well. After waiting a week for my entire library to upload, it's there, and it's in the cloud, and it's available for me. Every song I own, all 19,362 of them, are there in the internet atmosphere waiting for me to listen to wherever I want to, on whatever device I want to, my laptop, my Android phone, anything that I can get an internet connection on, I can listen to my Google Music on, and that's a big deal. Despite the issues I have with the podcast and the syncing, I think Google Music at this point looks like it has this war firmly in hand, and unless Apple loosens up a little bit on the exclusivity thing and starts to understand what the cloud could really be, I just don't see them having much of a play in this game.